Hey, what is going on, everyone? Welcome to another video. Today we are going to be talking about Sharon Carter's campaign event Conspiracy Theories, which starts on Friday. We're going to be going over all of the best characters that you can use if you are an early and mid-game player and you're not sure exactly who to use for the Saboteur trait. We're going to take a look at that. That's why I'm here on Boylon89. That's my baby account, because I think that kind of gives us the best idea of what characters to use if you're not a veteran player. Obviously, just like my main account, and if you're a late game player, you're not going to need my advice on that section because you'll already know who to use, and you probably will have somebody to do the hard mode. But I wanted to go over that anyways. I want to take a look at who's in the Saboteur Orb as well, and in the second half of the video we're going to be going through the math so that I can kind of help guide you guys and figure out how you're going to get 4 to 5 star completely free to play, which obviously is possible, but some of this is going to be luck dependent, and how much power cores you're going to want to throw into this event. We do know that possibly the Secret Avengers might be used for something in the near future. That's something that I'm going to be talking about probably over the weekend in another video. But I don't want to spoil anything too much, but I think you guys can probably allude. You kind of know what I'm talking about here. But anyways, without further ado, let's get this show started. Alright guys, and to get things started, we're going to be here checking out the Saboteur Orb. Now, I made mention of this, I'm pretty sure, in my patch 5.5 review video, but I think this is just really bad advertising here on this orb, because you see Captain Sam and Agent Coulson on the back of the Saboteur Orb. Now, we'll see when we actually go in. Actually, straight out, Captain Sam doesn't have the Saboteur trait, so why is he even on there? Was that a misstep? Was that a mistake? That's something that I'm going to have to follow up with support and figure out, because, you know, it's fine. It's not fine that he's not in the orb, but I don't understand why he's even on the backdrop of the orb if he's not even at least a Saboteur character, which I'm fairly certain he's not. So just to take a look, obviously we have the Sharon Carter shards. That's the same as all events here. This is 1 to 2 shards on the side. Now the center pillar, of course. Let's take a look at what other characters are available in this. We do have Bishop. That's not too bad because he is currently unfarmable. He is in the RTA, but, you know, this is another great way to pick up more shards for him. Even if you don't get Sharon Carter, there might be some consolation prizes here. Other than that, depending on where you're at in the game, of course, Domino is okay because she's only in the Blitz Orb at 10%. Ghost, again, another war shard character there. Kitty Pryde, also not farmable yet, so that's not bad. Multiple Man, also not... sorry, his... I don't know why I said that. He is farmable, but he is a very late game farm, so for newer players, this might be a decent way to pick up some multiple man shards here. Minerva in the War Store, and that's... I think that was about it. Baron Zemo for early and mid game players as well. And then, yeah, that's really about it. I don't think there's any really Nebula, I guess, if you still need to farm her. But I don't think there's a ton of great valuable mentions there. Aside from that, so it's okay. But again, no Agent Coulson and no Cap Sam. So that's false advertising, and I feel bad for anyone who maybe fell prey to this in the offer section. Is it still here? I don't even know. There's the Super Spy Orb, but I guess there's no offer for the actual Saboteur Orb, but you know that there will be at some point, probably after the start of the event, and I just think it's really bad here to have this in the background. I'm going to follow up with this one on the support side of things and see if what they have to say about it, and also whether or not it was a mistake that Cap Sam and Coulson are not Saboteur. Or maybe Coulson is, actually. That's what we're going to check out. So we're going to filter by Saboteur. This is my baby account, so I think this gives us the best idea of what characters to use. And so just right off at the top, you can see my top shelf here. This is my character. These are the characters that I'm working on the most, and these are probably the ones that I'm going to take into the hard mode campaign. Now, if you are doing the medium campaign, you need 3 Saboteur characters. If you're doing hard mode, you need 5. And there's no restriction there, or so you have to have those. So off the top, and why is Gamora missing her name? That's Gamora, because there's no nameplate. That's weird. So Gamora, Kestrel. Obviously, if you have Kestrel, this is an absolute must-have. If you miss the Kestrel event, this is going to be a little bit more challenging. Baron Zemo, great character there, will be on there, and obviously the Nebula Gamora combo. Hopefully, you are still building Minerva a little bit. I think that she's still useful. We do have Ghost and Killmonger. These are other 2 options here. Taskmaster is also missing his nameplate. That's weird. Black Widow, perhaps, but there's actually not a lot of other great ones that are sort of free to play or early game friendly. Again, obviously, if you are a veteran player, you don't need my help here. Anti-Venom is on the list as well. For later game players, we have Kitty Pryde, we have Bishop, so we have some mutants here. Actually, Agent Coulson is a Saboteur, okay, so he is there, but he's not in the orb. And I think it's oh my god, it's just, it drives me up the wall. Like, it's been so long since Agent Coulson has been out, and they just need to they need to redo that milestone orb. See, I'm so flustered because it's so shit. But anyways, Coulson should be in that orb, in the Saboteur Orb. He should be out of the milestone orb. The milestone orb needs to go. That needs to be fixed. Completely separate video, because we talked about that already with regards to Emma Frost a little bit. So the character choices are okay, but again, if you are in the early and mid game, probably you're going to want to look at characters that I have unlocked here on my baby account. These are probably the most likely ones, but realistically, the ones near the top are the best ones here. These 5, plus maybe Ghost Killmonger or Taskmaster. Taskmaster is easily farmable now in the Cosmics chapter. Otherwise, there is Black Widow. Aside from that, I don't think I could personally recommend anyone else. If you have Anti-Venom, great, use Anti-Venom. And that's probably about it, I would say. If you have any of the mutants, you might want to level them up as well. Kitty Pryde, Multiple Man, or Bishop. But other than that, that's the Saboteur trait. Doesn't look too bad. I'm going to go with this. This should be able to clear it, I think, and hopefully I don't have too much trouble. So let's go on to the second part of the video, which is the most important part. It's the math side of things, where we talk about how you're going to get 4 to 5 star completely free to play, depending on how many cores you have. Alright everyone, we're going to get started in the math here today, and so this is my infamous spreadsheet, or one of them anyways, and so we're talking about this Conspiracies Theory Sharon Carter event campaign, which is going to last for 15 days. This part doesn't normally change at all between one event to the next. You know, they don't want to fix what's not broken, right? So in terms of the free shards that you get, and this is all going to be considering hard mode, so there are certain instances where I have calculated some shards come from medium mode where you spend a lot of cores, but for the purposes of this video, we're going to be assuming that you are mostly doing hard mode. So you do get 27 free shards. That's just completely free, which is great, because especially for 2-star character unlocks, 45 shard character unlocks, you do get most of that for free. You just have to open a couple orbs afterwards typically, and you'll eventually get them unlocked. So you do get 2, 2, and 5, 2, 2, and 5, and 2, 2, and 5 as you go through the hard difficulty all the way to the end. Now, obviously, it's a total of 2,000 fragments per orb. Now, in terms of the amount of available fragments per day in hard mode, you can see that as below. So 500s from the 1, 1, 2, and 3, 600s from 1, 4, 5, and 6, and then 700 from 1, 7, 8, and 9. Now, altogether, this is a total of 900 energy cost, which gets you a total of 5,400 fragments. Now, that's just about 2.7 orbs on hard daily. Now, depending on how many orbs you're going to open, is going to depend on how much energy and how many cores you're spending. So your total amount of energy generation that you can get per day is as follows. So you do get 288 free to play energy. This is just your time-based energy. So you get 12 per hour over 24 hours. Your free refreshes, you get 3 of these daily. You get 80 energy from this, and so that's an extra 240. And if you spend 4 of your core refreshes, you get a total of 400, not 480. Keep in mind, guys, that this is different from regular campaign energy, that you only actually get 100 instead of 120. So that gives you a grand total of 928 potential total. This is different than what your regular campaign energy would be. So that's the kind of number that we're looking at when we look at the different scenarios in terms of how many shards that you might actually potentially get. So we're going to go from the top here with scenario 1. This is the best case scenario in my opinion. This is what most players would do. This is the 50 core refreshes times 4, aka 200 cores per day. Most players do that. I plan on doing this myself, and depending on how lucky or not you are most likely going to get 4-star using this method completely free to play, which is fine. But we're going to go over different scenarios as we go around. I have a total of 5 actually, depending on your power core situation and how hardcore you're going. So we're going to go over it together. Something new that I've added on this version here is also gold earned daily. So I have calculated the total amount of gold that you would get from the campaigns. It's not a lot, but you know, it is still a little bit extra over the course of the event. So this one here is energy spent 928. That's what we talked about before. And so in terms of the gold that you would get by spending 928 is actually this. So you get roughly around 67,000 gold daily, but over the course of the event times 15, you know, that's about 1,000,000 gold. I mean, it's not a lot, but it's a little bit extra that you might not have had before, just in case people didn't know how much that actually is worth. Now, in terms of the total fragments gained, you get 5,560. Now, this is assuming that you do all of hard plus 2 attempts of medium to make up that extra 28 energy here. Now, that gets you 2.78 orbs daily. Multiplying that by 15 gives you a total of just about 42 orbs over the course of the event. Now, the estimated shards here per orb is 5.4. This is a value that I've used in the past that really hasn't changed since they originally changed the drop rates of the orb. Now, I cannot give you the exact source for this because it's been a long time. I'd probably have to go back to one of my videos on this, but this is the average over the course of a lot of people's different openings. There was, and this is the number that came up. If I really have to, I can find that another time, or we can research this further, but that is the number that I've been using in all of my event videos. So this gives you a grand total of 252 shards over this scenario, which is about halfway to 5-star. Now, this could be more, this could be less. So I have known people who have done the 200 core refreshes daily, or the 4x50, and they have gotten 5-star. But I've also known people, including myself actually on White Tiger, I just barely got 4-star. So this can range, anywhere from like 190 to like 310. This is why it's just an average, guys. So the best thing to do is to have a goal in mind. What is your goal for Sharon Carter? Do you want a 4-star? Do you want a 5-star? Because starting strong early on, if you're trying to get a 5-star, do pump in those cores, and we'll get to that as we get into the 100 core refreshes, where it's more likely that you're going to get that. But do have a goal in mind for what you want to get for Sharon Carter, because you'll want to start doing that on the first day, not halfway through the event when you're not going to scrounge possibly the shards that you're looking to get for her. So let's talk about scenario 2. This is the middle ground. This is 100 core spent. This is just 2 50 core refreshes, so that's 728 energy spent. Look, can I zoom in a little bit more? Maybe, and then scroll over so it's a little bit bigger to see here. Now, energy spent 728, so the amount of gold that you're going to get from this daily is about 50,000, just over 50,000. And over the course of the event, 760,000. And so you can see that's about a 250,000 roughly drop from if you were spending 200 cores daily. And so you can see all the math here: fragments gained, total orbs daily. What's important here, total orbs over the event, 34, just over 34 orbs. Now multiplying that, of course, by that 5.4 gives you 212 shards. Now that still gives you in range for 4-star free to play. If that's what you're looking to get for Sharon Carter, then you're very likely to get that. Not guaranteed, of course, because there is still that average. You could get like 160 shards, you could get 250. So if you are trying to get to that 4-star, I would maybe do 3 core refreshes instead of 2. You don't have to do all 4, depending on what your income is for power cores on a daily basis and where you are in arena and things like that. Now, scenario 3. This is what I call the worst case scenario. This is where you don't do any core refreshes. So this is 528 energy. Your gold daily is about 36,000, and over the course of the event, it's just over 500,000 or 500,000. Now, what's important here, obviously, is the total orbs over the event is just over 26 orbs. Now, multiplying that by 5.4, you get about 168. So if you notice, and that's, by the way, this is also including the 20, all of this is including the 27 free that you get from the campaign from hard mode. So what this tells you is that you're kind of shy from getting a 4-star. Now, it's not impossible. You'd have to get some extra luck in order to get to that 4-star, but on average, you're probably not going to make it. So if you do want to get to that 4-star range, then you're probably going to have to do a little bit of coring, a little bit more coring to get you that extra way if 4-star is your goal. Now, the next scenarios, scenario 4 and 5. This is actually closer towards if you're hunting for that 5-star, completely free to play, or you bought cores or whatever, and you're spending those cores on Sharon Carter. This is where you're gonna get at, and I did the gold as well for this, although it looks a bit janky. So this is assuming that you're doing 4 50 core refreshes and 2 100 core refreshes. This gives you a grand total of 400 cores daily over the course of the event. That would be 6,000 cores. I think I got my math right. That's 6,000 cores over 15 days. So that's 1,128 energy. That's 200 above the first scenario. Gold earned daily, it's not that huge here. 78,000 over the course of the event. It's like 1.17 million, so maybe about 170k more than what the 50 core refreshing was. And what's really important is the total orbs. You get just about 50 of these orbs over the course of the event. Again, multiplying it by 5.4 gives you 296. So what that tells you is if you don't get good luck, you're not going to get the 5-star. And actually, on average, you're probably not going to get the 5-star. It'll make you very close, but not quite there. So if you're really, really, really intent on getting that 5-star, you assuming you're not spending, you do need to go that extra way on the coring. And so let's talk about scenario 5. Now, this is what I call lots more cores. This is literally the extremist of all of the scenarios here, and this is 600 cores daily, doing 100 times 4 refreshes on top of the 50s. So that over the course of the event is 9,000 cores Pretty sure 5, 6, yes, that's 9,000 cores daily. That's a lot. And really, that just adds on another 200 energy. So again, what does that get you with the gold? Well, over the course of the event, you're getting about 1.32 million. Again, another 160, 170k added to that pool. And in terms of the total orbs that you're getting over the course of the event, it's 57, just over 57. And what does that mean? Times 5.4 shards, that does get you, on average, to 310. Now, what does that mean? 336. So what that does mean is that if you get really, really, really bad luck, you might not get it, because there's that range, remember, there's still that range, you know, between, this could be 280 shards, this could be 380, you know, so realistically there is that range still. However, that gives you a very good chance to get that 5-star completely free to play if that's what you're trying to do for Sharon Carter. And there are some rumors that, you know, this possibly could be a legendary unlocked team. I'm going to be talking about more about this over the weekend, probably, when I want to see what the blog post says, just in case. But otherwise, I do have some feeling about what the Secret Avengers might be used for going forward, especially because some people are starting to think this is a skip, and of course what they mean by that is that they're not going to go try very hard on this, and then usually that comes to bite people in the ass. But what I really want to end with here, guys, and we have all 5 of the scenarios here, I will make this available in the comments down below if you guys want to take a look at this yourself on your own time, but I can't stress enough to have a goal. Make sure that you understand, or you know, where you want to get to Sharon Carter, where you want to get Sharon Carter to. Do you want her to be a 3-star? Do you want her to be a 4-star? Do you want to get her at 5-star? Now, obviously, this depends. Did you already spend some money in Sharon Carter or not? You know, so that'll tell you how many shards you need to accumulate in these different scenarios in order to get her to where you want. But make sure you have that goal in mind from the start. So hopefully, when you guys watch my video and you guys think about that, you know, are you getting a 3 or a 4 or a 5? And then plan accordingly based on my scenarios. I really hope that this helps, guys. Let me know in the comments down below if I missed anything, or if you think I should add for the next time. But yeah, that's Sharon Carter in a nutshell, and hopefully you guys are on your way to whatever star level of Sharon Carter that you're looking to get, maybe based on your res stars, or just hoping that maybe they're used for a future event. So that's the end of this video, guys. Thanks for watching, and of course, smash that like button if you found this helpful, and consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. Until next time, stay safe, and I'll see y'all later. Boylon signing out.